Alright, so we're working on a 1990 Cadillac Brougham. Hope I'm saying that right because you guys corrected me last time. What we got to do is we put a fuel pump on it because it went to 3 other mechanics and they couldn't figure out why this thing would start die. And you can look at the TBI injectors and see it was just dumping fuel. Put a fuel pump in it because the line pressure was less than 1 psi. It had volume, but it just had no pressure. And the thing starts up beautiful every single time. When you time this to make sure your timing and everything is correct, because people were messing with timing before, over on the left side of the engine over there is a timing peg or a ignition wire. It's a brown and white wire. So if I can get it to focus. Unplug it. You unplug that brown and white wire, and then you take your timing reading through. There's a window right in here. You can see a little bit right there. There's the timing peg right down in there. Right over in there. So you can take a paint marker. Let me see if I can make it better. I probably can't. I'm probably gonna make it worse. But you can see how it's got the little small tooth, that's 12 degrees, the next tooth is 8 degrees, the next tooth is 4 degrees, and then when you get to the wide void right before the bigger peak, the wide void right in the dead center, that's 0 degrees. And these Cadillacs, with that unplugged, key off, unplug the sensor, start the vehicle back up, you're on your #1 ignition wire over here, and you set that line at 0 degrees right in that valley, right in that void. So I'm going to do that real quick. The distributor is loose. He's going to start it up, and I'm going to tell him, okay, turn it forward, turn it forward, turn it forward until I get that lined up with that valley, and then I'll show you what it looks like. How I got to the point where I'm at right now is where I got close is I used vacuum on the PCV port, and I set my distributor to about 12 degrees before top dead center, and I was at 22 inches of vacuum. So I got myself close that way. Okay, go ahead. Easy. Poquito. Too much. Back a little bit, right? Forward a little bit. Stop. You're probably not going to be able to pick it up clearly. There's a line down there that you can see. It flashes every once in a while. The camera can't pick it up. But now that line is in between that bigger valley, that bigger void, right at 0. Now what you got to do, what I'll do is I'll flash something across the screen real quick so you can see what the timing marks look like. He's going to go ahead and stick that back down in there and tighten it. There's a bolt at the bottom of the distributor shaft. It's a little tongue, holds it down, and it stops it from turning. Now he'll go back in there and he'll start the vehicle, and I'll check it again. And there we go. The computer automatically retards the timing about 10 to 12. I would say about 15-16 degrees on its own. You set it with the brown and white wire unplugged at 0. Once you unplug everything, it takes control and it backs it off to about, I would say, probably 12 to 14 degrees before top dead center, and it will adjust from there. It will do its own thing. It moved it closer to 12 now, a little bit, and it's happy. You're good to go, no problem. Good. And this is just an old timing light from back in the day, ATD 5595. It's just an inductive clamp. And what it is you find a spark plug wire for cylinder 1, and you plug that inductive clamp around the spark plug wire, and then you hook that up to your battery. And then when you pull the trigger, it actually triggers off the #1 top dead center, or #1 ignition wire, I should say. And on a Chevy, the firing order is 184-36572, and #1 is on this side, #1 spark plug closest to the front of the engine, spark plug wire. On a Ford, it's on the other side. And you'll find that bank 1, the front spark plug, is the side of the engine. If you're looking at it from a bird's eye view, from like directly above, you'll see one side of the engine is canted forward a little bit. The cylinder head's forward a little bit. On a Ford, if you look at the passenger side, it's forward just a hair. If you look at it at a GM, the #1 cylinder, it's forward a hair on the driver's side. Just to recap, I got up underneath the vehicle, took a paint marker, I found the line in the harmonic balancer, I colored it white, and then put the vehicle back down on the ground. I unplugged the timing sensor that I showed you guys over on the passenger side of the engine bay, started the vehicle. Take that back. Before I started the vehicle, I loosened the bolt, the 14 or 15 millimeter bolt at the base of the distributor so I could move it. Started the vehicle. With a timing light, I looked at it, and there's 3 peaks before a wide valley and then another peak. And that wide valley is 0 degrees before top dead center. And I turned the distributor until that white line that I marked underneath with the flashing light was exactly at 0 degrees, top dead center. Shut the key back off, tightened my bolt down at the distributor base, plugged my sensor back in, put everything back together and started it up, and it retarded the timing on its own like it's supposed to, about 12 degrees or so. Runs beautiful. That's how you set timing on a 1990 or similar GM or Cadillac Brougham 5.7 liter TPI. And if that wire is unplugged and you have to go get flash codes from the OBD1, what you'll end up doing if your check engine light is on is underneath the dash in the middle, there's the OBD port. There's 12 pins. All the way over on the top right, you jump those 2 with the same wire into each other, and it'll flash 3 counts of each code. And whenever you first turn the key on and you're in OBD mode, test mode, it'll go 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, and that's the initiation, letting you know that I'm in test mode. And that 1, 1, 2 will happen 3 times. And then it'll go into your actual code. For like if that wire is unplugged or something's wrong with it, it'll be 1, 2, 3, 4. Pause. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. Pause. 1, 2. And you'll get a code 42. And any code that's stored in the computer will flash during that period of time. And then once you get back to the beginning and it's done giving you flash codes, it'll go 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, and you're finished. So if I left that wire unplugged, I'd get a code 42 flash after the 1 and then 2 sequence. I know it's kind of difficult to remember, but those of you that know how to work on cars know what I'm talking about. If you don't know what I was just saying just now, unfortunately, it's not that easy to explain in the video without actually taking a bunch of time up on a vehicle, which I don't have right now, and I apologize for that. But anyway, I hope this helps you. And if you don't know what you're doing when you do these jobs, or you're really nervous about it, I explained everything pretty clear and concise. If you're still unsure about doing the job, you probably shouldn't be doing the job and should take it to a professional like myself to actually get the work done. Thank you. This is how you set timing on a throttle body injected distributor vehicle, or other vehicles are similar, done the same way as well. Be blessed.